everyone. This is Liz from Liz Nicholls, A Woman in Motion. I am ecstatic about today's interview. I have two fabulous men with me that have brilliant information to share. So I'm going to start off by introducing Trevor Gordon from Canadian Epilepsy Alliance. This man does so much for others. I'm just in awe of everything that you do, Trevor. Words just can't express how grateful I am. And Trevor, we're going to get Trevor to introduce Marcus. And Marcus, thank you for coming on today. So over to you, Trevor.
Hi, Liz. And as I've said to you 1,000,005 times, and I probably can't say it enough, I appreciate what you're doing for the epilepsy community. Obviously, what has expired with Demarcus Charles, Marcus will tell you, we've been bombarded with opportunities to share his story. And I just thought, when I was talking to Marcus, I was saying, you know, Liz is a person I feel would be a great person for us to have this important discussion with. So Marcus, please meet Liz, and Liz, please meet Marcus.
Hello.
Wow. So Marcus, I have questions for you if you're okay with that. And the first one is that, what happened?
Well, what happened is something that shouldn't have happened. We could start off by saying that, to be honest. But really, in reality, from my point of view, I woke up with my hands tied behind my back in a panic and not knowing a situation that was going on, and just waking up confused to almost like 10, 15 people surrounding me, screaming. It almost sounded like I was just coming from like a weird concussion grenade. Like, sounds just like you didn't hear everything fully, and then everything started to click in, and it was just weird. And I realized that, you know what I mean? My manager was screaming out loud that I had a seizure, and at that time I didn't really know that I had a seizure. So it was kind of weird. So I was scared because I was trying to, you know, rub my face and trying to bring my hands to my face, and I was handcuffed behind my back and tased multiple times, and it was just a situation, obviously, that shouldn't have happened from a medical distress call, especially how my manager called, like, you know, 911 to say that my coworker / employee was having a seizure. So all that stuff shouldn't have happened from the gate, that's for sure.
Well, so, you know, how, so Canadian Epilepsy Alliance, Trevor Gordon again, he got involved in all this. And guys, how did that work for both of you? Like, what was the outcome?
Well, for me, I can say that Trevor went out of his way and he reached out to me, and he showed me this great opportunity to just show the world about, you know, the awareness of epilepsy. Because, like, to be honest, I was the person that had epilepsy for 5, 6, 7 years, you know, and it's like, I wouldn't say I never joined these groups or actually looked at like the full details of what to do, or I thought it was, you know what I mean? I thought I was the only person kind of that had seizures and epilepsy more than other people. But like, seeing this movement in this group that he brought to my eyes, it was a bunch of people that had seizures, a bunch of people that had, you know what I mean, remedies and self-care issues and stuff to just help people just cope in that community. Because sometimes, like you said, people don't understand seizures, but besides the people that have epilepsy sometimes. So like, it really does like stem down from that. And Trevor just was doing an amazing job, just making sure that he was reaching out to news outlets. He was always making sure that I was okay if I needed anything, making sure that the alliance was there for me, and just it was just a strong thing that I really appreciated to this day, to be honest.
Yeah, Trevor's amazing. I know we're embarrassing Trevor right now, so I can see it in his face. But yeah, Trevor, you did so much. And Marcus, how does it feel to have had the charges dropped?
Amazing feeling, honestly. The biggest amazing feeling, just because, like I said in a couple interviews before, like I was labeled something I wasn't, and that was like like a criminal, like something that, you know what I mean, something that I wasn't at the time. It just stemmed from, I guess, bad training and, you know what I mean, lack of training. I wouldn't say bad training, but just lack of training and lack of knowledge and they could have just went about the situation a lot better. I would say that.
So I'm curious, actually, I've got a list of questions over here, but what was Trevor or Canadian Epilepsy Alliance reaction to the charges being dropped?
It's a good question. And actually, if I just to rewind a couple of steps, I mean, the Canadian Epilepsy Alliance, we heard about this through the media. So if it wasn't for the media covering this, I don't think I would have had the pleasure of getting to connect with Marcus. So I'm glad the story has gotten told from the media standpoint. But once we heard about this story through the media, I mean, we reached out to Marcus, and to Marcus, he was getting probably bombarded by millions of probably lawyers that were wanting to help him and different people. So we wanted to make sure that we were there for as little or as much as he needed us at that point. So then we kind of created a communication, and then Marcus was kind enough to connect us to his lawyer, and then the lawyer. We wanted to make sure that we kept his lawyer into the loop of what we were doing with creating a petition to make sure that the police training becomes mandatory, to make sure that his lawyer and the people out there know that there is police training that's in their portal that exists. So, and I think that's partly of what his lawyer had mentioned. Fast forward to him getting this charges dropped. I think part of it, not necessarily the only reason, but the main reason why the charges were dropped is that he shouldn't have been charged in the first place. But also the fact that the police training was there in the first place, they should have known better and corrected and treated him in a way that should not have been him getting tased, right? So the short answer to your question, Liz, is that we were obviously ecstatic when we heard that the charges were dropped. But the bigger thing is, why was he charged in the first place?
Yeah, you know what, Marcus, I'm thrilled the charges were dropped, obviously. And what are your next steps? Like, how are you going to move forward with this?
With the situation or with life, would you say?
Yeah, in life, like that's a pretty traumatic thing you went through. And now the charge has been dropped. So what's the next steps for you in life?
Honestly, like, the first step is still, like, I'm still going through it. As like I said, I still have bruises, I still have like damages, and my shoulder's still really messed up to this day. I mean, going to like doctors and stuff and just getting x-rays, and just every day, like I said, I'm like constantly reminded of it. So it's something that it really bothers me. So I don't want to, like, first of all, I'm gonna try and see if we could, you know what I mean, legally go after them for something, or you know what I mean, because that's not right, and how they went at me just isn't right. And to be honest, like I said, I think I want to, you know, start groups, or just be like a leader in the type of groups, and just set an example, and just, you know what I mean, like, I'm glad to be the face right now and to make sure that this doesn't happen. So like, if I could save 100 more people's lives, 1,000 people's lives, everybody's lives, I'll definitely try and do that for sure. Because that situation, like I said, if it happened in America, I definitely would have been dead for sure. And that's like, I don't want to bring my skin color up, but like I said, like, I'm a African American. I'm 6'4". You know what I mean? I'm a tall person. Like, my stature could look scary. So like, you know what I mean? When I'm incoherent, when I was having a seizure, like, it can look scary. So like, I guess like joining groups and making sure, you know what I mean, my story gets told across, so this situation, you know what I mean, doesn't happen across the world. And just mental health issues, a bunch of stuff, because like it's taken a mental toll on me for sure. Because like, a lot of things happened to me after that situation, relationship wise. Like, I don't work there at work no more. I haven't worked anymore. Like, I do like side jobs helping my friends do stuff, but like, my shoulder would hurt every step. You know what I mean? It's so hard to explain. Like, it's so hard. Like, every day I'm constantly reminded, but like, I think I gotta try and push forward and join groups and just make sure this doesn't happen again.
And
Wow.
Liz, if I could say something too about Marcus, because Marcus is a humble guy. Like, look at how he's been smiling throughout this whole interview. He is like a happy man, and I've become, in the amount of years, I mean, this is coming up 2 years or so that we've been dealing with this, or Marcus has been dealing with this. And in the amount of interviews that we've been doing in the past few weeks, I mean, I'm learning stuff about Marcus every interview, every day. And in some of these interviews, Marcus is still being positive about police and paramedics. So we're not here to sort of say negative things about all police officers or all paramedics. We're simply saying, look, when someone is having a seizure, do not hold them down and do not tase them by any means. And if I could say one last thing about this too, Liz, because Marcus and I have been doing several interviews, and the one thing I've noticed, and maybe Marcus, you can tell me if you're seeing it, in all the comments I'm reading underneath these articles and these videos, is, well, the police didn't know that he had epilepsy. The police didn't know that that he was having seizures. That is 1,000,000% not true. The staff around him are telling him that he's having a seizure. You can hear in the video, he's having a seizure. So the fact that the people keep saying, oh, it's probably because the police didn't know he was having has epilepsy or has a seizure. They knew he has epilepsy. They knew he was having a seizure.
And honestly, to add to just like that, I was in an ambulance prior to the cops being called. So that's the thing. So like, the ambulance got dispatched for me having a seizure. And like, again, I'm not trying to bash people, but it was 2 female officers from what I heard, because I wasn't really coherent at that point, but like, it was 2 female officers out there. And like, when I'm watching the video and when I see like certain stuff, like everyone looks like I'm 6'6", you know, those 6'4", like I'm tall, like 2 females isn't gonna hold down like not an angry, but like a man that's incoherent, that has like, when you have a seizure, you have like incredible strength, and you know what I mean, and like you don't know what you're doing. So like, that's when it transpired to, apparently I accidentally hit them, or I was restraining when they're trying to put me on the stretcher, and then they called the cops. So it's like, did the ambulance people even call and say, hey, this guy was having a seizure and he's just being like crazy? Like I don't, like, how did it even come down to that? Is like, that's still the question that I like want to like realize too, just like Trevor said, like, how did it even transpire and jump, and just like, they knew, so like, why did it happen to me still, and why am I still facing like the backlash of it? And still, you know, as Trevor says, reading the comments, there's amazing comments, and then there's some that just say like, oh, he should have did this, or like, there's a bunch of things like that could have really played an effect that shouldn't have happened, but like, it happened, and you know what I mean? All we can do from here is make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so grateful to both of you for coming on today and having this conversation, because it is really, really important. And I know everybody's probably reaching out to both of you, trying to interview you. So I'm thankful for your time today. And Marcus, let's keep in touch. Trevor, I talk to you all the time. And maybe we can do another one down the road. I know you're super busy right now, but down the road, let's just do a check-in to see where you are, what you're doing, what's happening. And again, guys, I am so grateful to both of you, and let's talk soon.
Thank you honestly for everything that you do for yourself too, and the Women in Motion, everything. You're a great person, and honestly, I appreciate you just taking the time out to, you know what I mean, talk to me. And honestly, just seeing your smile on my face makes me smile 10 times more. So thank you very much for having me. And yeah, you can reach out, and obviously sometimes I might be delayed because you know what I mean, some things are happening and stuff, but I'll always respectfully reach back to you and let you know what's happening. Okay.
Awesome. Have a great day. And again, thank you, and we'll talk soon.